Welcome back to the David Braley Athletic and Recreation Center as we're in for a great night of volleyball in a huge West Division matchup between the first place Fanshawe Falcons and the second place your Mohawk Mountaineers, who are undefeated at 6-0. My name is Kyle Ryan and I'll be your commentator for this evening. If the Fanshawe Falcons want to stay atop first place in their division, they're going to look to one of their key players, David O'Coin, who was a key part in their victory last weekend against Cambrian, as he had 12 kills and 8 digs. Then for the Mountaineers, if they look to leapfrog Fanshawe into first place after this game, they're going to look to one of their star players too, Eric Gerard, who played against Humbra last Saturday, and he played really well as he had 12 kills in that game. So stay tuned. We're going to be in for a great game tonight. First set is next. As both teams have taken the court and are ready to get this game underway. Referees just making sure the proper people are on the court, and then they look all ready to go. Sebastian Lethbridge is back for the Falcons to serve and start off this game. He floats one over, and it is out, and that's just the start the Mountaineers wanted. Can't ask for an easier start than that. Chris back to serve for the Mountaineers. Floats this one, passed up by Gundry. And a kill right there. A huge play by number 12, David O'Coin, and that's exactly who I talked about in the pregame. And look for him to have many of those opportunities tonight. As he floats one over, passed up by Falk, back row, blocked and out of bounds as Gerard went up to hit it. Ball got blocked. Goes over, passed up by the lip, and the quick, and what a dig by Gerard. Tonin gets it over. Backs up by Lethbridge, and Matt Schnarr is not happy with his team's coverage there. Number 8, Derek Braun, back for the Falcons to serve. Ben Tonin passed it up. Spock bumps. That's in a huge hit by Falk right there, but it goes long. Blocked at the net. Spock sets it back to McLaughlin. Bumped Lethbridge with the backs at the foreman, and it goes off Spock's hands and out of bounds. Derek Braun still back to serve for the Falcons. Floats one over. Tonin passed it up. It's back with the set, and Cody Charlton goes up from the middle position and just powers that one home. After that huge hit, Cody Charlton is back. Serving for the Mountaineers. Steps into it, floats it deep. Lethbridge with the set to power Fletcher, and it just sails long as they wanted a touch call at the net. It just floated way too far out of bounds, and the score is now tied at 4-4 as Charlton still has the serve. Floats one, and that one just floats way too deep there as it never looked in coming off him. And he looks, you can tell he's frustrated going to the bench after being lived out by Ben Tonin. Andre Foreman for the Falcons floats one over, passed up by Gerard. Spock back row hit right back to Gerard, and a huge kill right there from Gerard, and expect to see a lot of that in today's game if the Mountaineers want to come out victorious. Trevor McLaughlin grabs the ball, and he's back behind the service line waiting to serve the ball. And he goes with the jump serve, and nice pass up right there, out wide to Fletcher, and off the stick, and that is Mohawk's point. McLaughlin back to serve again. He likes to do that jump serve as we saw last week too, but last week it didn't work out as well as a bunch of them sailed too long, and here he goes again with the jump serve, and it's like that one, it sails long, and that's the problem with that serve. It's usually inconsistent, and that's why a lot of coaches don't like it, 'cause if it works, it's really effective, and it doesn't, it's a waste of a point. But Ben Fletcher back for the Falcons right now. Floats one over, passed up by Gerard. Spock sends it out wide to Falk, and it gets blocked and goes right out of bounds. Gonna see a lot of that today because Fanshawe likes to send up the double blocks, especially for the huge hitters like Falk, McLaughlin, and Gerard. And it's tough for blockers to angle where they want the ball to go after. But Falk with the jump serve. Good pass up by Fletcher. Lethbridge with the set, out wide to a coin. He tips it over. Markison pass up back to the middle, and Foreman with the dig, and Fletcher tries to get it up, and what an insane effort right there by the Fanshawe Falcons, but an even better kill right there by Bryce Markison. I mean, being 7'2", he can just go up and smash that ball down, and it's tough to even get a hand on it. And it's another jump serve for the Mountaineers that sails long. They lead 8-7 right now as James Jackson grabs the ball for the Falcons. He's back, set to serve. Floats one over. Falk passes it up. Out wide to Gerard. Goes up, and it's touched by Jackson, but he can't control it, and it falls out on the Mohawk side. Bryce Markison now back to serve. Floats this one over. Passed up by Foreman. Lethbridge was it outside, and O'Coin comes up and gets the kill. And there's a lot of pros to Bryce Markison. He's tall, he's huge at the net, but he always gets slipped out by Ben Tonin. And when he serves and he has to play back row, it's always a disadvantage when you usually have your lib back there. But Sebastian Lethbridge with the serve. Gerard passes it up, and a little miscommunication there as Cody Charlton was going up for the quick, and Chris Spock set it too far out, so just a little miscommunication there as Sebastian Lethbridge for the Falcons floats one over, passed up by McLaughlin, out wide to Gerard, and that is a huge kill right there as he gets way up over the block and just smashes that one to the ground. This is a perfect play right there. You get the good pass and you get the good set, and then someone like Gerard just flies forward and pounds that one home, and those are so tough to defend as Chris Spock floats one over. The back set to a coin, and Spock's frustrated with himself because he was in position. It just hit his knuckles and hit his hand, and he couldn't pass it up. As we're in a seesaw battle here. It's tied at 10 as David O'Coin floats one over, passed up by Falk. Spock makes the most of it, and it's a tough play as the pass goes too deep into the net. Not much you can do there as your Chris Spock. As he sets it out, McLaughlin hits it into the sticks, but O'Coin floats one over. Gerard with a nice pass up, back to Gerard, and a huge kill right there. And nice play by O'Coin, who gets it up, and he's frustrated up there as he got it up. His team just couldn't do much with it as Eric Gerard, a huge player for the Mountaineers serves it. Foreman gets it up. It's tipped at the net. Chris back to McLaughlin. It gets blocked at the net. Tipped up. Sebastian Lethbridge with the serve out wide. Tipped, and it's blocked, but it's still up. Fletcher's it over, and it is out. And you can hear Coach Matt Schnarr telling his team, like, it's still in, because McLaughlin got his hand on it. He thought he tipped it down, and he turned around, and then the ball was still up on the Mountaineer side, thanks to Ben Fletcher. Gerard floats one over, and David Gundrum, the lib for the Falcons, cannot handle that. As it looked low, but it dropped on him as he wanted to volley it up. He just couldn't get a nice handle on it. As Gerard is still back to serve, and he gets it over. Perfect pass by O'Quinn. Lethbridge to the quick, and it's saved by Tonin. And it's passed up, but it's a net call right there on Mohawk's Cody Charlton. Perfect dig by Tonin, though. Him and Falk got the ball up, and it's those tough plays at the net. It's Derek Braun. He's now back to serve. Floats that one over. Tonin with the good pass up. Oh, wide to Falk, and didn't get the part of the hand you wanted on the ball. It just didn't have that power on it. Just floated out of bounds. Game is now tied at 13 as Braun still has the serve. Floats it over. Passed up by Tonin, tight to the net, but he saves it. Gets it over. Foreman goes up for the hit. Nice pass up by Gerard. Oh, wide to Falk. And a huge roof right there. Look at the look on James Jackson's face, and the bench goes crazy. Like, looks like the bench in an NBA basketball game when someone gets dunked on, but a huge roof right there. It's a powerful hit by Falk, goes up, and the tall James Jackson just puts it back down. Now Tonin passes it up. Carlton in the middle, and he comes back with a huge kill. And like I said, a seesaw battle right here between two powerhouses atop the OCAA West Division. That huge kill. Charlton is back. The little floater. Passed up, and the quick, it gets tipped. And a net call on James Jackson as his momentum carried him across the line, and he couldn't stop himself in time. As Cody Charlton is still back, continuing his serve. Floats one over, passed up by Gundrum. The back's at the Foreman, and it rides the net. And that is Mohawk's point. They call it out on the Falcons. Cody Charlton floats it over. This one goes deep. Lethbridge with the quick to Jackson, and Coach Matt Schnarr is pumped up. Your team is pumped up, and a timeout is called by the Falcons. And the entire Mohawk bench gets up, greets the starters coming off the court. Everyone's pumped up because they have a 3-point lead right now, up 17-14 in this first set. Just telling his players to keep up the intensity, keep up what they're doing, because they're playing really well right now with all their kills, all their blocks. And it's just the small errors that have been killing Fanshawe, like the net calls and all that. So they're still in this game. You can see how quickly these games turn around. And you can see Coach Patrick Johnson talking to his team, trying to motivate him, as it's only a 3-point deficit. And the scores go by so fast, and I mean, 3 quick kills. I mean, the momentum can swing at all. Can swing fast, so 1 kill here, and they're back in the game. So Matt Schnarr telling the team not to let that happen and to end this first set as quickly as possible, because when you have 2 great teams like this, you want to start off on the right foot and win that first set, so you're not digging out of a hole this early in what could be a marathon of a matchup. 17-14 is the score here. Mohawk has the lead, and Cody Charlton is serving. Floats this one over. Passed out by Gundrum. Served out to Foreman. It gets touched at the net. And it's called a double hit right there. And not the start Fanshawe wanted coming out of that timeout. As Mohawk extends their lead to 4. Charlton is still back to serve. He likes that floater. So he floats it over again. It goes over Gundrum. O'Coin passes it up. The free ball goes over. Gerard passes it up to Spack to the right side, and McLaughlin gets up and powers it down. It just lands outside the lines. And Coach telling him to sign out here as it's getting late in that first set. You don't want the server right now, Andre Foreman's getting a groove and bring his team back into the game, but floats one over. The back row hit and it's blocked. Tonin passes it up. Spack right side and give the point to Fanshawe as they call a double hit on the set of Chris Spack. Right there. 2-point lead now for the Mountaineers. Foreman is still back to serve. And he floats one over. Gerard with the pass up. And a huge block right there by Jackson. Lethbridge dumps it, and that's a huge part in volleyball when you have a smart setter and they know when to dump it, because when a block like that happens and a little rally starts and the defensive team is out of position, you're smart enough to dump it off, and Fanshawe's within 1 point right here. Foreman floats it back over. Gerard with the pass. The quick to Bryce Markison. Gets set and passed up by Gerard. Right side to McLaughlin. O'Coin passes it up, but no control, and he's frustrated with himself again as it went right to him. He just couldn't control it, even though those are insanely hard to control. 19-17 lead for the Mountaineers. Trevor McLaughlin likes that jump serve. We'll see what he does here. He's lining up for it, and he throws up the jump serve. And it looked perfect, but it's called out. Went a little too wide, and it's not something you want to see in a time like this, is missed serves. As Ben Fletcher grabs the ball, he's ready to serve for the Falcons. Floats one over, Gerard passes it up. Spack the back row to McLaughlin, and it goes right in between Andre Foreman and Ben Fletcher as they both turn to try and pass it up, and neither of them can get a hand on it. As Falk for the Mountaineers is back to serve. Throws up the jumper, and that one is out, and sounds like I'm repeating myself, but misserved after misserve, and it's another open opportunity for Fanshawe to tie this game up at 20 as the Mountaineers lead 20-19. James Jackson floats it over. Nice pass up by McLaughlin. Right side to Bryce Markison, and huge hit right there as it goes through the block and drops on the Fanshawe side of the court. Substituting in now for the Mountaineers, it's number 3, Andrew Kong. And this is what we saw last week. He likes to sub in. I guess Machnar likes him for a serving. And good float serve right there, right to the lip Gundrum. And O'Coin out wide, gets passed up. Gerard passes it back over to McLaughlin, and it gets at the net, and it's stuck in between the two Fanshawe blockers in the net. And that's a huge point for the Mountaineers. Coach Machnar is pumped up right now, and so is his team, as they're 3 points away, my bad, for taking this first set. Speaking of serving, that's something we saw of Andrew Kong last week. When the game started to get into the late teens and then into the 20s, Andrew Kong was someone who subbed in for Bryce Markison and his lip Bentonin to come in and serve, and he can play back row well too, so he's not someone you're worried about. When you put him in to serve, you know he can play the back row well, which is why Matt Schnarr must like using him in situations like this, because his serves are nice too, especially that floater he just put over. So Fanshawe still in this game. I mean, only a 3-point game, so they need a lot, and they need it fast to get back into this game before the momentum carried the Mountaineers to their first set victory. Look for a good pass from David Gundrum or Ben Fletcher and Andre Foreman as they line up in the back row, waiting for Andrew Kong's serve. So he floats one over, and this one just floats wide, and he's frustrated with himself. And it's a tough spot as you get put in for a server and you miss a serve. You're not happy, your coach isn't happy. So number 7, Sebastian Lethbridge, grabs the ball for the Falcons, floats one over. Gerard with another nice pass. Oh, wide to Gerard, and off the block, and another kill for Gerard. He's been all over the court. The back row, he's passing up all those serves from the Falcons. The front row, he has kill after kill, and he's a lethal weapon when he's on the court in general. So number 4, Chris Spack, serves the ball. Passed up by Fletcher. Served quick, off the block. McLaughlin passes up. Spack out to Gerard. Off the blocked. Spack back to McLaughlin, and it goes through the block, but it gets saved, and the ball lands out. And a huge fist pump right there by Matt Schnarr, as the Mohawk Mountaineers have a 24-20 lead right now. Subbing in for the Falcons is number 9, Nate Van Camp, as he takes the place of number 1, Andre Foreman. Chris Spock has the ball, waiting, floats one over. O'Coin passes it up. Back to O'Coin, and doesn't get touched. Point for Mohawk, and they win the first set by a score of 25-20. And what was a high energy, high intensity, very fast paced first set, and don't expect nothing less when set number 2 starts. And if you look at these replays, you can see both teams with the huge kills. And I mean, not much you can do if you're in the back row, as that ball just comes at blistering speeds to you. And you either got to be in the right position or just you won't be able to touch it, because these balls are just flying. And you see O'Coin even got a piece of that one, but it was coming so hard at him, he had to move a bit that it flew into the crowd. So, I mean, if you're Fanshawe, you're down that you lost the first set, but you're not out of it, because you know you played well, you know what you did right, and you know what you did wrong. So you got to overcome that and take this second set, because you don't want to fall down to especially a strong team like the Mountaineers, who have only lost 2 sets this entire season. And coming into this game, Fanshawe has only lost 2 sets in 8 games, but they drop set number 3 as they fall 25-20 to the Mountaineers. The thing Matt Schnarr must be drilling into his team right now is missed serves. There was about 5 missed serves, and towards the end of that first set, 2 big jump serve missed back to back, and that's something you can't have in a game, especially that close, because if it's 1 point closer, it turns into a tie game, and then who knows where it's going to go from there. So missed serves are never something you want to see a lot of, and it happened last week when they played Humber in the first set. So it takes time for them to settle in, because we saw once they settled in last week against Humber, their missed serves decreased each set. So we'll see what he's telling them and how it goes over. Both teams coming back out onto the court to start this second set. Same starters are out there. That's what started the first set. We've got number 7, Sebastian Lethbridge, number 10, Ben Fletcher, number 1, Andre Foreman, number 12, David O'Coin, number 6, James Jackson, number 8, Derek Braun, and the lib, number 5, David Gundrum, all out there for the Falcons. For your Mountaineers, you have Chris Spack. Number 4 is the setter. Number 8, Bryce Markison. Number 6, Cody Charlton. Number 9, Trevor McLaughlin. Number 13, Eric Gerard. Number 7, Stephen Falk. And their lib is Ben Tonin. So if this set's anything like the last set, we're going to be in for a good one. A lot of back and forth, high intensity volleyball. As number 8, Bryce Markison, back for the Mountaineers, to serve and start off this set. throws it up, floats it over, passed up by Fletcher. Quick by Lethbridge, and it's a net call there on Mohawk as it went right to Bryce Parks and he passed it up, but if you looked at the net, you could see it shaking, and Mohawk Mountaineer jumped into the net by accident. It's number 12, David O'Coin, has the ball for the Falcons. Ready to serve, floats it over, passed up by McLaughlin. The quick by Charlton, gets blocked but bumped back up. McLaughlin sends it to Gerard, and it goes over the triple block right there and out of bounds as Fanshawe sent a triple block consisting of Foreman, Fletcher, and Braun. They're doing anything they can to stop Gerard as he had kill after kill in that first set, so you got to send out a different game plan. As it's passed up, Spock out wide to Gerard, and right there you saw number 8 Derek Braun and Ben Fletcher go towards the middle to set up the block, and Spock sent it out wide, and all that was there was Foreman, and Gerard just hammered it through that one block. No one could handle that one. So he gets floated over, set out to Foreman, and it's pumped up right there as he pounds that one down, and not much Ben Tonin, their lip, could do as it was to his right and didn't have enough time to move to it. Derek Braun has the ball now for the Mountaineers. For the Falcons, my bad. Floats it over. Gerard passes it up. A quick to Charlton. And off the hands of James Jackson, and it falls onto his own side of the court. That happened about 3 times to him last set as he got the block. He just wasn't close enough to the net for it to drop on the Mountaineer side. So it gets sent over, and it's blocked by Trevor McLaughlin and Cody Charlton. What a way for Mohawk to get back into the game right there. As the game is tied at 3, Gerard waiting to serve. Gerard steps up to the line, floats it over, and it gets pancaked. And what a huge save right. When they say it hit the ground, and it's Mohawk's point, and a little confusion there as it looked like he dove and got a hand on it, but that's a tough play right there as the ball goes through the libero's hands. David Gundrum. It's a play you don't like seeing your libero make when it goes through their hands, because they're your sure hands in the back row. Gerard floats it over. Good pass right there by Gundrum. Out to Foreman. Tipped off the block. Gets passed up. Out to McLaughlin. Off the double block. Foreman saves it. Lethbridge sets it back to Foreman. And that is huge right there. And Matt Schnarr wanted a net call on the play. He doesn't get it. And what a kill right there by Foreman. To save it, to pass it up to Lethbridge, sets it right back to him, and perfect play right there as he floats one over. Good pass by Tonin out wide to McLaughlin, who tips it over. What a play by Gundrum. Out to Fletcher, and a huge play by McLaughlin right there as that set went too far onto the Mohawk side and just smashes that one down. Cody Charlton back to serve. Floats this one deep. Foreman with the nice pass up. Sets it back to James Jackson, and just goes too wide on that play. It's a good play by Jackson when you can always get your middle to go around towards the outside and you get a nice back set from your setter. He just couldn't capitalize on that opportunity as Charlton floats one over. The quick, and Bryce Markison got his hands on that ball. He turned around and it was too late and he couldn't pass it back up. Mohawk has a 6-5 lead now as number 10 Ben Fletcher, the Falcons, is back to serve. Jump floats one over. Gerard with a nice pass up. Back to McLaughlin and just sails long as the ball bounces into Coach Patrick Johnson, who's in his 3rd year. Doing a good job of coaching his Falcons this year as they're 7-1. Fletcher serves it. Back row to Gerard, and a good save by Gundrum, but Mohawk is called for going over the attack line, it looks like, as Gerard went from the back row and didn't leave the ground early enough. As Fletcher still has the serve. Floats one over. Gerard with a nice pass up. Out, touch. Lethbridge out wide to a coin, and he gets up for the huge kill, and expect to see a lot more of that if Fanshawe wants to come out of this match victorious, as he's the one who mainly leads the Falcons in kills, as he did last weekend. And he's a good defensive player too, as you saw him almost have those few digs in the first set. As a quick to Markson, it gets blocked. He resets, back to Markson again, and a huge kill right there by Markson. Goes up once, gets blocked, they reset, and he just strikes that one onto the Falcon side of the court. Not much you can do. Someone that tall and that powerful comes up, and huge play right there. As McLaughlin's back to serve, does his jump serve again. And that's an ace. That is a huge serve right there. And that's what I was saying about that jump serve. It misses a lot, but when it's in, it's so hard to judge when it's going to drop. And with the amount of speed it has, it's a very lethal serve, as you saw there. McLaughlin throws it up again. The jump serve, and this one off his finger, it looks like, as that one sails wide and far. And once that one left his hand, there was no chance. It looked like it was going in. Jackson has the ball now. Floats this one over. Gerard with the pass up, it goes too far. Huge play by Tonin right there to save that. And the back row, McLaughlin fires one, and it just too wide. And what a heads up play by Tonin right there to see that the pass went too far onto the Falcon side, and O'Coin didn't hit that one as hard as he wanted to. He flicked it to the side, and Tonin, being the smart lid that he is, covered and made the huge play. McLaughlin, another one that goes out. It's a few consecutive hits in a row that have gone out, and that's not something you like to see when it's all these unforced errors. Jackson looked like he had an awkward release on that one, but to the middle. And Andre Foreman couldn't get a hand on that one. Couldn't get it up, I mean. And Mohawk cuts the lead to 2. Fanshawe leads 11-9. Falk floats it over. Fletcher can't get it up, and David O'Coin saw that it wasn't going to the center, so he made all the effort he could to get it, just couldn't reach there in time. As Falk still serving. Goes up, floats it over. And right there, they're picking on Ben Fletcher right now, as can't pass up the ball. And if you make 2 errors like that in a row, you're going to get subbed out. And now subbed in for the Falcons is number 3, Alec Bugler, as he assumes his position in the back row. And he comes in the game, and the ball doesn't come to him, but he's in that huddle, pumping up his teammates as Falk misses his serve. And the setter, Sebastian Lethbridge, just a little warm-up routine. Floats it over. Spock out wide to Gerard, and it gets caught up in the block, and Braun was up there. He had the block, he had the ball, he just couldn't get it up again. And it's hard if you go up for the block, I think, because you don't know where the ball is going to go, and it didn't go back far enough to another player to grab it. So it's an unlucky play for the Falcons. As Markuson is back, floats this one over. Foreman with the good pass up. Lethbridge to O'Coin, and that one just sails too far. We haven't really seen O'Coin get going like we're used to. He only has a couple kills so far in this game. It's Bryce Markuson. Dribbles the ball a bit, gets ready, and floats one over. Passed up by Bugler. Out wide to Foreman. And another one that's out, and teams are just trading hits that are just going too long, as Mohawk had a few, and now Fanshawe had a few, and their starting setter, Sebastian Lethbridge, gets subbed out for number 13, Jack Daly. So we'll see if he has an impact. Markuson back to serve. Floats this one over. Bugler with the pass. Back to O'Coin, and a huge kill by O'Coin, and that's how you make an immediate impact if you're Jack Daly. Subs into the game, does a perfect set to their huge power. David O'Coin, and great way to get back into the set. So O'Coin needs to start to get going if Fanshawe wants another shot. Back row, it gets tipped. What a huge play by Gundrum. And O'Coin gets it over. Passed up by McLaughlin. The quick to Charlton. Gun drop with Foreman. Off the block, and Fanshawe is pumped up. And I can't talk enough about Jack Daly. Comes in and he makes an immediate impact on this game. Two great sets, and we have a tie game, folks, at 14-14. O'Coin back to serve. Floats one. McLaughlin with the pass. Charlton hits it. Hit guns drop in the chest, and it goes up. Blocked by Charlton. O'Coin passes it across. Gets it up, and a miscommunication, but Spock manages to get it over. Gun drop with the pass. Foreman goes up. Tonin saves it. Gerard tries for it. Can't reach it in time as that ball flew towards us in the benches. As Fanshawe has all the momentum right now. Everything seems to be going their way. So one huge kill by Charlton just hit Gundrum in the chest and went up, and they saved it. McLaughlin with the pass up. Gets dumped, but a good play by O'Coin to be there. Backs it to Foreman. It gets tipped, and what a perfect spot for the tip. And look at the smile on Andre Foreman's faces. He knows he did the right thing there and dropped it right onto that empty court, and Fanshawe now has a 2-point lead. Puts it over McLaughlin with the pass. Goes out to Gerard, and it goes off the block of Foreman and Braun, and out of bounds as Mohawk cuts the deficit to 1. Fanshawe leads 16-15. Chris back, the Mountaineer setter, is back to serve. Floats one over, and Bugler can't handle that serve, and we have a tie game now. You can hear the bench saying easy serve, and it's always tough to return that when it's floating like that, but Foreman hits it over, goes up to Gerard, and again, Foreman gets his hands on it, but it just falls onto his side of the court. As Mohawk gets 3 quick points. Out wide to Bugler, gets it in. It's in. What a way to redeem yourself if you're Alec Bugler. Braun now has the ball. 17-all is the score. He's ready to serve. Floats this one over. Good pass up by Falk. And a huge kill right there by Gerard. And he's just been doing that all day, and he's making it look easy out there. So now takes the ball and goes back to serve. Drive floats it over. Daly with the quick and gets pushed down. Mohawk can handle it. Spock with the back set, and it's out. It was a nice back set there. Usually when you do a back set, you're only going to get one blocker because everyone splits up to get their respective attacker, and McLaughlin just hit it long. As Foreman now has the ball. You jump and he floats it over. Gerard with the pass up. Spock runs to it, and McLaughlin, it gets touched, and an unfortunate play there for the Falcons as it gets touched, and going out of bounds. It just bounces off of someone. And so you see the substitution again. Number 3, Andrew Kong for the Mountaineers takes the place of Cody Charlton as Kong is back to serve. Floats this one over. O'Coin with the pass up. Back row to Foreman. And didn't get enough of that ball as just carries too far out. And nearing the end of the second set, Mohawk has a 2-point lead, 20-18. And it's a huge set to win as Kong serves it over. Good pass by Bundrum. And what a play by Jack Daly. Ever since he's subbed in for Sebastian Lethbridge, he's been nothing but good with that drop right there. A few great sets, and that's what you want to see from a backup setter. Bugler floats it over. Tough to handle. Goes back row to Gerard. And then the dig right there, and then the quick by Jackson gets handled. It goes back row, and Foreman gets his hands on it. It goes back over the net. Spock with the back row set. And a huge dig right there at the net. And Daly goes up, and he blocks it back to McLaughlin. It gets tipped. And what a huge point for the Mountaineers right there. So that's a lot of back and forth play right there. Huge plays from Alec Bugler and Jack Daly as they got in position, but Mohawk ended up on top as they had all the control of that point right there. As McLaughlin goes back to serve, 21-19 lead, and he doesn't do the jump serve this time. He elects to float it, and it's tough to handle. And a huge block by Bryce Markison right there. The coach is pumped up. The team is pumped up as it went middle on middle. James Jackson on Bryce Markison, and I mean a 1v1 matchup that Bryce Markison won. Goes up and he gets the huge roof on that play. So Mohawk leads 22-19. We're at the end of the second set almost. Fanshawe's just telling them they're playing well. They're close. It's just a few chances that they can't capitalize on. And their defense is good. Their libero, David Gundrum, is playing one really good game right now. He's just digging everything. Jack Daly substitutes into this game for their starter, Sebastian Lethbridge, who played last week against Cambrian, and he had 42 assists. So we'll see what the coach elects to do for the end of the second set, going into the third set, as the Mountaineers take the court and are trying to end the second set on top so they can take that 2-0 lead going into the third set. There's still lots of volleyball left here. A 3-point swing can happen like that. Trevor McLaughlin has the ball. He elects to go with the floater this time. Floats this one over. Gundrum with the pass out wide, and a huge kill by O'Coin. And that's the guy you need to step up in a situation like that, because he's carrying your team. He's the guy you need to get that momentum going, because he hasn't been able to find his complete groove yet. It's a huge kill for him right there. As number 2, Ryan Daly, subs into the game for the Falcons. He serves, floats one over. Good pass by Gerard. It's back to the middle. Markison. Bugler gets it. Foreman passes over on the free ball. Markison gets it. Back to him. It gets tipped at the net. A huge play off the net. And they call a lift on David O'Coin. And I can see that call because it goes off the net. And it looks like he rested on his arms a little. And it looks like he threw it over instead of hitting it. And I mean, Fanshawe doesn't agree because it's a tough point in this game for a play like that. But great effort by the Falcons right there. As they almost saved that ball, but Falk is back to serve. He floats one over. Gundrum gets it out wide to O'Coin and off the block. And you can see Chris Spock come out of that. He's clenching his fist like he knows he should have had that one. And Jack Daly, who came in and it's been huge for the Falcons, serves, floats it over. Good pass up by Falk, out wide to Gerard, and it gets blocked. Good save by Tonin. Out wide to Gerard again. And this one is in. What a huge kill by Gerard right there. And that is exactly what the Mountaineers needed right there. As a substitution, Cody Charlton comes back in for Andrew Kong. And number 14, Brandon Kokless, takes out Bryce Markison. See if Kokless is being used as a serve specialist as he's serving for the match here. Nice floater over. Bugler gets it out wide to Foreman. And it gets saved. McLaughlin puts it back over. Gundrum passes it up out wide to Foreman. And a huge kill right there. And I don't know how Mohawk saved that, but that was a huge save. And Foreman just comes up and pounds that one right in between McLaughlin and Kokless. As David O'Coin is serving. Down by 2, nearing the final stages of the second set. What a play by Falco, wide to Gerard, he tips it, and it goes out. And the Mohawk Mountaineers win the second set by a score of 25-22. What a huge win for the Mohawk men's Mountaineers, as now they take a demanding 2-0 lead in this match. As we'll take a look at a few replays, as you can see the nice kills, and they just couldn't handle the pass. And right here, Foreman comes up and just too strong to handle and gets tipped over, and that dig by Gundrum right there. And Bryce Markison comes up and the huge hit and tooled off the block right there. And what a dig by Gundrum right there. And that dump, and you see Jack Daly get pumped up, and right there is when Foreman got that 1 point towards the end of that set there, but just wasn't enough, as Fanshawe couldn't string together enough rallies to get back into the game, as it was always a tight game, but they just couldn't tie the game and go ahead of Mohawk, as Mohawk just played too strong, too tough to handle. So we'll see what they'll do in this third, and this third set that could be the finisher if the Mountaineers come up on top. But I think Fanshawe has different plans, as they played really well both sets. They just couldn't find a way to come out on top. I mean, they lost 25-22 and 25-20, so they were in both games. It was just too little too late. So we'll see if what they change up for this set, if they keep in Jack Daly, who has been the most impressive player for me off the Falcons. And for the men's team on Mohawk, you can't talk enough about Eric Gerard. He's all over the court. It feels like every Fanshawe serve goes right to him, and he passes it up perfectly every time. And when he gets his chance to hit, if it's from the left side, from the right side, from the back row, he's all over the court. He'll hit anything, and he hits most of them in. So we'll see how Mohawk comes out, as Mohawk takes the court, and the same starters they started the first few games with. As Fanshawe breaks from their huddle, and it looks like Jack Daly was just in for a little stint, as their starting setter Sebastian Lethbridge comes back into the game. So we'll see if he got that much needed break that could have helped them. But number 3, Alec Bugler, stays in the game for the Falcons. Both teams are on the court and ready to go, as David Gundrum, their libero, comes in for number 6, James Jackson. As you can see, both teams on the court ready to go. As Sebastian Lethbridge takes the ball, and gets the referee signal and is ready to start this third set. Floats this one over, passed up by Gerard. The quick to Charlton gets tipped up. Nice save by Lethbridge. Goes across off the block. Falk hits it up. It's back out wide to Gerard. Tough set right there, but Gerard gets it. And the quick, and what a huge kill right there for the Falcons. Lethbridge was in a tough spot right there as he basically had to serve it straight up, but someone came down and caught the blockers off guard and right to that back corner. Gerard passes up the floated serve, goes up and it's blocked. Tonin saves it. Gerard passes it up. Falk sends the free ball over. Bugler passes it up. The quick, it gets tipped. Huge save by McLaughlin. Goes across to Gerard, and it's a huge hit, but it's out. And you can see the Fanshawe bench getting into it too, as they're not out of it. They want to come back into this, and they know they have every potential to, as they've been neck and neck with this Mountaineers team this entire match. As Lethbridge floats one over to Gerard again, passes it up, back to Gerard, off the block, saved by Gundrum, comes towards us, and Bugler cannot get a handle on it as he had to go a long way for that one. And I mean, he gave all he could as he was coming towards our table here and just couldn't hit it backwards enough to save it. As Chris back serves it in. What a smart play by one of your leaders, David O'Coin, to be on the line ready to return that serve and then realize it's going out and back off it like that is very smart play, but from someone who you expect to see a lot more of in this third set if Fanshawe wants to win and force a fourth set. And Gerard with another kill as it just is too strong for the block right there of Derek Braun and Alec Bugler. As Gerard is back to serve. Jump and floats one over. O'Coin can't handle that. You don't see that from him a lot, and he's frustrated with himself as he knows that's one he should have had, and we'll see how he redeems himself here. Foreman goes up, a huge roof right there from Cody Charlton and Stephen Falk as they both go up and direct that ball to the far side of the court where none of the Falcons were in. Mohawk now takes a 4-3 lead in this third set. Gerard floats one over. O'Coin with the pass up. Lethbridge makes the most of it. Bulgar gets it over. Passed up by Falk. Gets the quick to Charlton. Gets blocked at the net. He pushes it over. Goes towards the crowd, and Sebastian Lethbridge ran as far as he could without crushing anyone in the stands. And the ball was too far away and dropping too fast for him to have a chance with anything at that one. Gerard still back to serve. Floats this one over. Coin passes it up. Lethbridge with the quick back set. Tonin's there though. Spock with the back. Tipped off the block. And McLaughlin with a huge hit right there. And Alec Bugler's there. And Coach Patrick Johnson has seen enough. And from the time Alec Bugler was in there, he played well, but he's putting starter Ben Fletcher back in the game, who sat majority of that second set. O'Coin passes it up. We'll see if Fletcher makes an instant impact. And he goes up for the kill. And another roof right there from Cody Charlton. And he does the Mutombo, no, 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 no. And I mean, when you do that 2 times in a row, he can do whatever he wants. As Mohawk is pumped up on the bench, and they have every right to be as they lead this third set 7-3, and everything just seems to be going their way right now. Good roofs right there from Cody Charlton and Trevor McLaughlin. Can't forget about Stephen Falk, who is in there for one of them. But Cody Charlton is such a huge piece to this team because he's in the middle and he can shuffle to the left and get the left side hit. He can shuffle to the right, get the right side hit. He can stay in the middle and block in the middle. So he's a key piece you like to have monitoring that front row, especially when you have such a lethal lineup like the Falcons do with O'Coin and Jackson and Braun and Foreman and Fletcher. Gerard has the ball, floats another one over. O'Coin with the nice pass up. The quick to Braun, and Tonin tries to make the dig, and you can see him frustrated with himself because he feels like he could have gotten to that one, but I mean, a perfect set. And Braun just comes up and smashes that one to the ground, and there's not much you can do as a sprawling Tonin wasn't enough to get the ball up. It's a serve by Braun. Spock with the quick, and Charlton, he's smart on that play there as he didn't pound that one right into the block like you see most times. He still hit it, but he hit it farther back, so it landed in the back where no one was. As Cody Charlton takes the ball now and floats it over. And McLaughlin tried to be quick on that one and smash it down, but he smashed it into the net, and the Mountaineers get called for a lift, and Cody Charlton comes off for the libero, Ben Tonin. He's all smiles as he knows he's been playing well, and two subs in for the Falcons is number 13, Jack Daly, takes out Sebastian Lethbridge, and it's number 9, Nate Van Camp, takes out number 1, Andre Foreman, who go to the end of the bench to have a conversation with Patrick Johnson. So just trying to regroup few of his star players. As a back row tip by Gerard, a huge dive by Daly who makes an instant impact, and McLaughlin saves it. Falk goes up and rolls it over. Little miscommunication there between Jackson and Daly. Tonin with the set. And O'Coin goes for the dig, and it touches off him, and if you can hear Matt Schnarr, you hear him before his player goes up for the hit. He's like, two big ones, referring to the two huge blockers on the Falcons side of James Jackson, Nate Van Camp. So it's always good to have a coach who's so alert like that, who's yelling at you when you're about to hit the ball so you know what's coming. As Jackson goes up for the hit, and a huge stuff right there by Bryce Markison. And I mean, when you're 7'2", all you got to do is put your hands up. When we had that little jump into it, good luck getting over those long arms of his. It's number 9, Trevor McLaughlin. Floats this one over. He got rid of that jump serve, and the back set to Fletcher, passed up by Gerard. Back row set to McLaughlin, and frustrated with himself as that one goes wide. If you noticed, in the first set, McLaughlin was all about that jump serve. And it worked one time, he got the ace, but a few times he missed in key situations. So you wonder if Matt Schnarr told him to not do it, because now he does his floater and it's very consistent. As Gerard passes it up, Spock with the save. Falk gets the free ball over. What a save by Spock as he hustles back to his spot. And Van Camp gets it. And it's saved by Falk. And Tonin saves it as that ball was basically in the crowd. And it goes up, and a huge block, but it goes out of bounds. And what a huge play there for the Mountaineers, even though the Falcons get the point, as that ball was going into the crowd. And I don't think Stephen Falk cared that there was steel bleachers right in front of him. He was going to get that ball no matter what it took, and he got it up. Tonin got it over and couldn't get it done. And what a perfect drop by Kiss Spock right there. And he's going around that huddle with that look on his face like, yes, I just did that. Right in that perfect spot, and he pointed before that ball landed where he wanted it to go, and it did just that. As it goes out wide to O'Coin. Tonin gets it up nice and high. Spack gets it across Gerard. It's saved by Gundrum. Fletcher gets it across. The free ball sent over by Van Camp. McLaughlin with the pass. The click to Markison, and it is called a touch on Fanshaw's side. The setter, Jack Daly, is on the court. Going on Fanshawe, shaking their head. Heard David O'Coin say something to the ref and kept shaking his head, so I don't think he agrees with the call. But anyways, the ref call stands, and Van Camp goes up and hits, and it goes in between the block of Marcuson and Gerard, and it's a point for the Falcons, and they're going to need a little run here if they want to stay in this game. Floats one over. Falk passes it up. Back row to McLaughlin. It's called out, and it's always smart like that to not go to your traditional right side, middle, or left side. Give McLaughlin a shot in the back row, and he's frustrated with himself because he knows he could have done better with that. But anyways, James Jackson floats one over. Tries to get dumped over by Spack, but it gets blocked by the net, and Marcuson comes up and just powers that one home, and he's always in the right spot at the right time. And when you have a middle duo of Bryce Marcuson and Cody Charlton, you're never missing that huge presence that you have in the front row. As Marcuson is back to serve, floats that one deep, and it caught David O'Coin by surprise. As with a floater, it just floats in the air, and sometimes as a defender you don't know where it's going to go, and he was ready to volley it, but thought it was going out, and he ducked, and it lands right in that back corner. So Marcuson goes right back to the floater. Coin can't handle the serve, and he gets it over, and it goes through the fingers of Gerard. Once they get to that huddle, he's telling himself what he should have done and knows what to do next time. But substitutions for the Falcons is number 9, Nate Van Camp, and number 13, Jack Daly, come off. They're replaced by the starters, Sebastian Lethbridge, number 1, Andre Foreman. As Lethbridge is back to serve, trying to get his team back into this one, floats it up to Gerard, passes it up, Spock on his knees, and it gets blocked. Oh, he turns around and smashes it, but it's saved by the Falcons. Foreman dumps one over to the middle. It gets tipped over by Charlton. Lethbridge gets it in the back row. Foreman goes up, and he pounds that one home. And no touch there by the Mountaineers, and that one was just all power and no control, as that one just went way out of bounds and almost hit the Mohawk bench. It's Chris Spack, now back to serve. He has that lefty floater. Ben Fletcher passes it up, all wide to Foreman. It gets tipped. There's a net call on the Mountaineers. You can see the net shaking again, so pretty easy call for the refs, especially when they're standing on each side of the net. O'Coin floats one over. McLaughlin comes up, and it looks like it bounced off someone's head. Tony gets it over, and the quick, and went right to Chris Spack, and looks like he was going to get it, but Tonin was going that way too. If he didn't have it, and the ball ended up going the opposite way. So key point for the Falcons is they cut the deficit to 3. Floats one deep. Gerard passes one up. Goes out to McLaughlin. Passes it over. Gundrum gets it up. And it gets blocked by Charlton, that huge middle presence at the net. Foreman goes up, and the power on that kill right there from Foreman. You see number 7, Stephen Falk right there, but nothing he could do is just powers through the double block. Fanshawe is only down by 2. Floats it over. Falk passes it up. Back row to Gerard, and a huge kill right there from Gerard. He gets way up and just smashes that one down. And looks like there's no stopping Gerard today. He was my player to watch, and he's carrying this Mountaineers team on his back. It's a great team effort, but he's all over the court. As he passes it up, but another net call on the Mountaineers. Is, I think McLaughlin touched the net when he went up for the block, and you can hear Coach Matt Schnarr telling him that can't happen, because that's just ruining the opportunity for your team to get the ball up and giving Fanshawe a free point, but they get the ball up. McLaughlin tips it over. Saved by Lethbridge. Fletcher dumps it over. Gerard with the pass up. The back set to McLaughlin, and it goes up through the block and off the left arm of Sebastian Lethbridge. Number 6, Cody Charlton is at the back, getting ready for a serve. Floats this one over. Huge drop on that float, but they still get it up. Foreman comes up for the huge hit. Spock with the dig. Gerard just dumps it over. A little miscommunication there, but it goes out wide to Foreman. It looks like it hits the stick. You see Matt Schnard so into the game. Comparing the two coaches, Patrick Johnson, the coach of Fanshawe, standing up just watching the game, but Matt Schnard is so into the game. Something like that happens. He's like the players. He jumps up into it. Cody Charlton floats this one over. This one goes deep. Gundrum gets it out to Foreman, and no block even goes up for that one. And it goes over the bench, but if you saw, what a smart play by one of the assistant coaches is he saw the ball went over, and when he went to get out of the way, he took his chair with him to give way to McLaughlin, but it was just too far away as Foreman floats this one over. Good pass up by McLaughlin. Quick to Bryce. Gets bounced up. Gerard floats it over in a good spot. Foreman passes it up. Marcuson gets it. On 2, they hit it over, and that one is out, and Fanshawe gets the point, and Mohawk leads 18-16 as they're looking to side out here before Fanshawe gets any closer, as they are only 7 points away from not only winning this set, but winning this match. As Foreman floats it over, goes out to McLaughlin, bounces off the hands, and after McLaughlin hit that, he had both of his feet on the other side of the net. Foreman goes back and floats it over. Stephen Falk, the quick, and it gets stuffed at the net by Sebastian Lethbridge and James Jackson. And look at the scoreboard. This game's all tied up at 18 apiece. So Andre Foreman still has a serve. Gerard with the pass. Spack gets to it. Falk floats it over. A dump. Tonin makes. And Bryce Marcus is standing in the middle. He set the ball to Falk. He just didn't get a good read on it, as now Fanshawe takes the lead in what is a must-win set for the Falcons. Foreman's been serving good here. Gets another floater over. Backs it to McLaughlin. And a huge kill right there by McLaughlin. It's a key part in this game, and he ties this game up at 19. So if you're the Mountaineers, you don't want to drop a set right now, as you just want to win 3 straight and get out of here. As McLaughlin is now serving, so he's going to go with the floater again. Floats this one over. Puts it outside, off the block. Gerard passes it up to Falcon. You can see Spack was frustrated with himself after that. James Jackson comes up, and the huge kill right there. Look at Chris Spack. He, as soon as he said that, he let out a little frustration as he knew it wasn't good enough. But Falk made the most of it and still got it over, but couldn't stop James Jackson in his quick middle hit. Gerard passes it up to Bryce Marcuson, and that one just goes into the tape, and Fanshawe now leads 21-19, and substitution. Backup setter comes in. Jesse Walzak takes out Chris Spack, who's frustrated, so he's going to go take some time to himself on the bench. Huge situation for the setter right here. Season start off well as they just send the ball over. A wide to a coin. What a dig right there by McLaughlin. Gerard comes up and a huge play by Gundrum, gets it over. And it's called 4 hits by the Falcons, but what a play right there by David Gundrum. Just put his hands up and get it. And just like that, Chris Spack is back into this game, just takes a breather on the bench quickly, and he's back in this. As Foreman with the play, oh, wide to a coin, and that one doesn't make it over the net, and just like that, Mohawk gets a quick 2 points, and we're all tied up at 21 here in the third set at the D-Bark. Falk floats this one over. Fletcher passes it up. A wide to a coin, his 3rd straight hit in a row. It gets saved. What a save by Gerard. Spack dumps it over. And a huge roof by Bryce Markison. And if you saw on camera there, O'Coin with the hit, and he ended up on the Mohawk Mountaineer side as momentum carried him under the net. There was no call for that, but there was no need to, as 7'2" Bryce Markison goes up and roofs that one, and Mohawk is 3 points away from sweeping the Fanshawe Falcons out of their own gym. I mean, you can't ask for much better volleyball than this. It's been back and forth. It's been intense every second they've been playing, and Fanshawe's going to need to string a few points if they want to stay alive, and the Mountaineers look to get 3 quick points and stay undefeated in their season. As both teams take the court, nearing the last stage of this third set. Same starters out there for both teams. Gerard giving a little love to McLaughlin there before we get going. And Falk floats one over. Lethbridge floats. And Tonin saves it. McLaughlin hits it back up, and he went way back for it. And Gerard hits it in. Just a sheer look of disappointment right there on the coach and Matt Schnarr's face as McLaughlin ran all the way to the back wall and got that one up, and there was just too much speed and spin on Gerard. Couldn't control it. Jackson floats it over. And Fanshawe somehow gets it. It gets blocked at the net. What a huge play for Fanshawe here. They can get this point. And it's blocked and it's saved. Tonin sets it back up to Gerard. And Fletcher makes a mistake of touching that one when it was going out, but Jackson dumps it over. The quick to Markison, it gets stopped. Tonin is right there to get it. It goes back out to Gerard, and he gets the point. And this crowd goes crazy as everyone puts their hands together and gets up. And you see the bench go insane, and Coach Matt Schnarr ran down the whole side of their team as that was an insane rally. And they come away with the kill there after a huge rally. And Mohawk is now 2 points away from taking this match. And Andrew Kong has subbed into this game for Bryce Markison to serve. And he floats one over. Goes over the net. And Gerard with a huge kill right there. And that's just what you want. You put Kong in to serve, puts in a tough floater, and it gets passed back over the net, and Gerard's right there to pound that one home. And a late substitution now. I mean, it's do or die now for the Falcons as number 3, Alec Bugler, comes in for number 10, Ben Fletcher. And Andrew Kong serving for the match right here as he floats one over. And it's into the net and it rolls over. Sebastian Lethbridge gets it. O'Coin sends over the free ball. McLaughlin passes it up. Oh, wide to Gerard, and he gets the kill. And Mohawk crowds onto the court. Matt Schnarr runs down the bench, and your Mountaineers win this set 25-22, and they sweep the Fanshawe Falcons in their own gym. And I mean, What an unreal match of volleyball. Couldn't ask for anything else. Back and forth, huge kills, huge digs, big serves, and cannot say enough about Eric Gerard. Comes into this game, he was their best passer all night. Everything that came to him, he got. And his kills and everything was just unreal. And I don't think many people expected a sweep for the Mountaineers. These two teams were atop the West Division, and they still are, but looking at some of these plays, out wide to Gerard and those huge kills, and right there, Gerard was just all over the place. And that one went through his hands, but he saved this one, and just all over the court, and you can't say enough about him. As this quick by Bryce Markson gets saved by Tone, and Gerard goes up and just gets it over, and what an unreal play by Gerard and the entire Mohawk team. It's that block right there, and McLaughlin comes up, and that one drops. And so as we keep watching replays, what a fantastic day of volleyball we had here at the David Braley Athletic and Recreation Center, as the Fanshawe Falcon ladies swept our Mohawk Mountaineers. But when the men come in, they swept them by a score of 3-0, and that's going to do it for today's coverage. For everyone in the truck, everyone a part of this presentation, we thank you. Hopefully you tune in next time. Have a good night.